Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I'm Liz Quinn, your lead Scentsy consultant. So today I have for you my weekly What I Have Been Warming video, and I've gotten through all sorts of wonderful early fall smells and a few things that you might consider to be a little bit more summery. And it's been very cool some days this week and really, really hot a couple of others right now, this specifically being Labor Day when I am recording this particular video. It is horribly hot and quite humid outside, so, I've been bouncing back and forth between seasons. But if you didn't already know, it is Fall Winter Catalog in Scentsy and my very first day of sales for this catalog, September the 1st. To all of you who are my customers, I want to say a huge, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You broke all of my own personal records as far as a day in the life of a Scentsy consultant, and seeing how excited you were to get on that website and order all the fall winter goodness. Thank you so much, and I hope that you thoroughly enjoy all of your Scentsy goodies. So, that aside, what was I getting through this week? One of the things that I was interested in was, can I mix Dutch apple bread, which is not a terrible smell, but it's the most disappointing from the fall harvest collection for me personally. And can I get it to be something that I don't just like, but I love? And the answer is, I think I got pretty close. So the Dutch apple bread by itself is a pretty long lasting, and for me, as it melts, better scent than when you first put it in the warmer. There is a note in here that is odd for me. That's a little bit off-putting. It's a little bit almost like sour or plastic, or just something I do not care for. That over the course of a couple of days, because this does tick along in a medium really well, that burns away and you get just a really nice apple spice, almost bakery, but not quite sweet enough bakery for me kind of a scent. So that's where I decided to mix it. So you cannot get Sugar Cookie in the catalog anymore, but you can still get it in a trusty brick and Scentsy Club. So Sugar Cookie is to me the very best bakery vanilla scent I've ever smelled from Scentsy. It's just a really nice, clean, crisp sugar cookie. Sweet enough, but not too sweet, with a good vanilla. So I did equal parts of Sugar Cookie, you have to whack up the brick cubes, and a couple cubes of Dutch apple bread, and that smoothed it out enough so that I did enjoy it. And if you have maybe a vanilla bean buttercream, or maybe even like a vanilla cream, I think that you could produce something like this. But, of course, the better mix for me personally, because it added the super sweet balancing quality my nose was seeking, is of course my beloved apple butter frosting, which you cannot get in any way right now. I get 2 of them bi-monthly in my Scentsy Club, and honestly, because I skipped my last bi-monthly shipment, this is my last partial clam of apple butter frosting. I do not like being out of this particular scent. It's one of my top 10 of all time. But this, with its super rich sweetness, with the apple butter, the spices, and that really nice frosting, 1 cube to 1 cube in a warmer with Dutch apple bread, gave me what I was looking for, and it was really, really nice. So I think this could be mixed with a lot of things. I might even try mixing that with like a clove and cinnamon to see what I could get out of pushing it spicier. I don't know what that would do to it, but anyway, that is a bar where I may order 1 or 2 more to play around with, but it's not something that I'm probably going to be putting in my club to save for all time. A lot of other people are getting better notes from that, or they're more pleased with it than I am, but that was kind of my experiment this week. Now, another thing that I was melting is from Yankee, and this pumpkin banana scone, it's just fantastic, and I'm enjoying putting that in mostly the Florida room while I'm melting all this other bakery from Scentsy in the front of the house, like the room that I'm in currently in the kitchen. This is so good, you guys. This is perfection. It is like a banana nut bread with just enough more pumpkin, and the banana is reasonably authentic. I do not represent Yankee in any way, shape, or form, but that is just such a good scent. I wanted to talk about it. So the next day that I can talk to you guys about was one where I was doing really nice leathery suede scents. So Saddle Up had been offered over the summer in the Country Born warmer bundle, and then it was allowed to stay as an offering to add to club for a couple of months. This is my favorite leather scent from Scentsy. It has a little bit of fresh air. It's still reasonably sweet. It's not too sharp. It's definitely not heavy or weird and rubbery like some of them get. Really, really nice. So this is now in my quarterly club because I'm not going to need tons in a year, and I did get a few when I was able to add it to club in whatever quantity I wanted. So I did this in the Florida room and in the kitchen. And then to go with it, the one that's in my bi-monthly club that is similar is Vanilla Suede. And this, I really love Saddle Up, and I actually think it's a better performer, which is shocking because back in the day, Vanilla Suede was a boomer. I hope that these cure to become as strong as the ones from back in the day. But this is a very nice medium, and there is a sweetness and some spice to this. It's more suede, it's butterier, it's got the vanilla and the hint of just a tiny bit of spice. These two scents, I had been waiting and waiting to be able to club both of them and be able to melt them in different parts of my house on the same day. I'm telling you, for probably 3 or 4 years, I've been thinking about if I can get both of those scents in my club, I can enjoy them. And it was wonderful because I really, really miss sometimes the scent of a tack room at a nice English riding stable. This just reminds me of that. So good, and I loved it. Anyway, so then here's another day, which happens to me today, because even though it's 90 degrees outside, I am just so over summer. I don't want to do fruity. I don't want to do tropical, but I wasn't thinking I should do like fall spice or bakery or pumpkin, so I reached for my more masculine bars. So I started out this morning with White Amber Antique here in this front room. Now, I love this bar, and I actually put up a poll this morning, and not that many people answered it, but I wanted to see who loves Mystery Man and who loves White Amber Antique. And then, of course, before I filmed, I forgot to really look at it, but I think that there were more votes for the White Amber Antique, which I'm happy about that. That's my favorite. This is a masculine cologne scent, but there is enough warmth to it, enough of a wood note to it, and the amber keeps it from being too sharp or too assertive for me. So this is my favorite masculine scent that Scentsy makes currently, and I really, really like it, and I would have clubbed it if it had gone away. I tried to get through the rest of this clam of Mystery Man in the back room because I figured that they were close enough. So this one's got bergamot and like crisp white cedar, I think. And I always say it's just cold. To my nose, this is a very cold, sharp, almost like a body wash or very astringent men's cologne. And I know a lot of people love it, and this has been in the catalog much longer. I took it out. I didn't like it. And I warmed up the backspace with Toasted Acorn and Oak, which actually goes pretty well with White Amber Antique because they both share a wood note. And of course, this is roasty and toasty, a little bit buttery and more like that wonderful wood cabin in the fall, which I'm totally over summer and wanted this. So this one was going in most of my house with the little bit of White Amber Antique in the front. Very nice, honestly, very sophisticated, and Toasted Acorn and Oak is no longer in our catalog, sadly. This is in my club, and you guys will see me talk about this for the entire fall-winter season. This is one of my favorite bars. It's got like chestnut, golden oak, toastiness, warmth. It is so good. It's almost gourmand, but not quite. That's where caramel chestnut will come in, and I'm not melting that yet. I'm being a good girl. I'm waiting. This is a little early, but I just had to. So I was very happy with those. So another day. Now, I have to say, these are two of my favorite, almost always, rock star fall bakery bars. And the day was cold. And I don't know if I've held on to these particular bars of these scents too long. Oh, that's what's wrong. Hang on a second. I knew that there was a clam that I was missing. I'm like, this isn't adding up. What am I forgetting? Now I know what I was forgetting. Breakfast in Bed. I love this. I've been hoarding it. You can't get it anymore. I didn't put it in my club, and I always love this bar. It is so good, and it's so good early fall. But this one, I had the black raspberry note. I think it had turned a little bit, which made me so sad because I had been hoarding these 4 cubes for too long. And this is always sweet with like a pumpkin waffle and the black raspberry and the cinnamon sugar drizzle. I got more sharp black raspberry out of this than I ever have, and it ruined it just a little bit for me. I was so sad. So I'm going to need to melt my other bars of this fall because I do not want that to happen to the rest of them. And at the same time, I was doing some of my hoarded cubes of Stroop Waffle Delight because I only get 3 bars of this in a year. Now, stroopwafel was fine. I think I just did it too early in the season. It needs to be cold outside. It needs to be not quite Thanksgiving, but just a little later, because this is the most gooey, decadent waffle, butter, cinnamon sugar, pizzelli cookie kind of a smell, and this one was not fabulous either. So I don't know what was going on because I never complain about these bars. They're some of the top bars that I have and that I hoard. So I think that's my lesson. Just melt them when they're fresh because they can go off and then you'll be very sad. Okay, and I'm not usually like a wax hoarder. I will go through what I get, but I guess with the whole bakery deal, so many of us have gotten frustrated and I hoard some of those longer than other bars and I should not. So, lesson learned. Another day, I did a whole bunch of cran apple crumble, which is current. This bar is fresh. This bar is fine. I mean, it's like a year old. And this was so good. I like this so much better this year than I did when it was released last year. The whipped cream, the apple, the cranberry, a little bit of like an allspice, brown sugar, almost molasses. It's settled. The bar is beautiful. I really enjoy it in the house. And I think that I am also missing my clam of oats and honey. I have a couple of those left. I had pulled that from my club prematurely. I regret that. And I did the cran apple crumble and the oats and honey on the same day. Beautiful. And that was perfect. Like the bakery was just right for this time of the year. Not too heavy. So good. So I can't say that this is my top 10 bakery selections of all time, but it's solid and I do enjoy it and I think it'll be really nice all fall. Okay, and then I got really brave and melted one of my 5 clams of All You Need Is Love from the flash sale. I've never tried this before. It was so pretty. So it's like a really rich vanilla bean buttercream with the added cherry and some other notes that I'm forgetting from the description, but it's lovely. You could melt this any time of the year. If this were ever to come back for a bring back my bar type situation, I think I'd put it in my quarterly club. It's almost like vanilla cream amped up with cherries and other kind of sophisticated subtle notes that I can't quite pin down. I see why people rave about it. It's medium throw at best, but really, really beautiful, and I'm very glad that I have some of this. All right, what else do we have here? I did one day where it was a little bit on the chilly side outside, and it was refreshing and beautiful, and I got out a whole bunch of the kind of thing that you want on a brisk, crisp, early fall day. And again, I'm a little premature, but the day was so cool and crispy that I did Autumn Road Trip, which usually I will hold on to until almost October before I melt it for the first time. You guys, this is one of my favorite scents he's ever made for fall. It's just so good. Apple, Anjou pear, towering silver oak. You feel like you're walking in a crisp orchard on a glorious fall day. So good. Great throw. Great saturation in the house. Used this all up in the front room. And then I used a clam of scarlet sunflower to go with it. And then all the way in the Florida room, most of a clam of Here Comes the Sunflowers. And all of those, especially the Autumn Road Trip with the scarlet sunflower, that was in the dining room. The scarlet sunflower, beautiful. And you can get scarlet sunflower and Autumn Road Trip right now. I would highly encourage you to try both of those in the house on the same day sometime. This one's lighter, so this has that sunflower note plus the cranberry plus the apple. Very nice, somewhat floral, somewhat fresh and enjoyable smell for fall. You might even be able to melt this with golden garland, but I got some more of that on my September 1st order because, of course, I placed an order so that we can do a harvest and, like, welcome to the catalog kind of a haul, which I'm sure that will take a couple weeks. It usually takes a little while to get the very first shipments of the new season out, but I am really looking forward to doing that with you guys. So look for that harvest haul. It will be coming. And Here Comes the Sunflowers was from Spring Summer, and, of course, now it's retired, and it's sweeter with the strawberry and the musk. So I had that in the back room, and it was just a beautiful day. Perfect for a Labor Day weekend kind of an atmosphere. So what else did I do? I was doing a lot of sorting of all of my bars, and Farm Stand Pumpkin is going to be one you guys are going to see a lot of me talking about this fall. And this specific clam, I think that the ratios are off. Look at the difference in the wax color. If you know Farm Stand Pumpkin, you know that it is a lighter slightly more, almost a melon orange, especially for a pumpkin bar. It's a very light, bright orange. There is so much cinnamon in this one. Now, it doesn't make it bad. I put this in the basement and it was fabulous. It was just like farm stand pumpkin plus like a quarter of a cube of clove and cinnamon or something. But I almost called and complained. I'm like, it's going to be a good scent even if it's a little off for farm stand pumpkin. It was still fantastic. So I enjoyed that in my basement for a little while. And then what else do we have here? Ooh, I did get out from my September melting basket. If you haven't watched that video, that was a lot of fun. The Find Your Happy Taste of Summer, because I wanted to say goodbye to summer on Labor Day weekend the right way. So this was great in the basement. Not too strong. The tea note is light. This is a really unique scent, and I see why people go and grab more or have kept it in your club for a few years now since this first came out. It doesn't have that bite and that astringency that other lemon and black tea scents that I have tried in the past have had. This is really nice. So my husband, who loves all things lemon, went to the basement and said, "Oh, what are you warming? I love it." I said, "It's something with lemon. It's a lemon iced tea scent." "Oh yeah, it's really good, honey." So, do you know your husband or not? I certainly do. Anything that's really fresh, anything that's like eucalyptus, mint, the right certain kinds of cologne, and anything lemon, the man is very, very happy. And this thing lasts, I think, like 3 days down there, and it was going strong. Very good bar. So the last couple things that I have in bedrooms, I had done a little bit more Yankee. This is a new one, smoked vanilla and cashmere. Very nice. This is a brand new scent, I think, for them for this fall, and so is the pumpkin banana scone. So I've been hitting my local Meijer's really hard this season. So nice. And this has that nice smoky quality. This seems to be very trendy right now with the cashmere. It's beautiful. And this is old school. Autumn wreath. It's been around for forever. I threw a cube of this into one of my kids' rooms just for fun, because this is just like the middle of the fall. I think it came out when I was in high school, and sometimes you just need a scent like that. Sometimes for me, Scentsy won't do, not because it isn't amazing and I don't love it, but your childhood nostalgia, that's what this company is for me. Fantastic. It's got some apple, it's got the fall leaves. Honestly, if I was going to compare this to anything that Scentsy is currently making, it's kind of like cashmere leaves, honestly. And I love cashmere leaves. I will be melting that some more. It's got the apple. Yeah, I think that's what this is the most like. Very good. The apple and all those layered but gentle, subtle fall spices and leaves. Gorgeous. And last but not least, bringing up the rear, in my older daughter's room, some of Grandma's Orchard, which is one of my favorite September scents. This is something you can only grab in a flash sale or in a bundle at this point. This was in the catalog quite a while ago. Before Orchard Apple and Spice, it's kind of that type of bar. And so now we have falling apples. I like these older ones better because there's more apple and more sweetness. Falling apples has more heavy wood and then the pine cones, and it's very deep and dark. There's even a little bit of lavender, I think, in falling apples. But this was great in her room for 3 or 4 days because now that she's out of high school, we have a couple of part-time jobs, and she's been a very busy bee. So this went really well and almost got kind of perfumey at the end, which really surprised me. I think it's the wood notes after all of the fruit has burned off. Very, very good. If you see Grandma's Orchard in a flash sale and you've liked Orchard Apple and Spice or maybe Johnny Appleseed mixed with something woodier, pick this up. It's very, very good. So I think this has like quince and a little bit of apple and pear and some sort of wood note. Very nice. So I've been rambling a bit. I had a really, really wonderful time ordering my first new fall winter Scentsy goodies. And like I already said, I'm hoping they'll be here in the next couple of weeks. If you guys got on and you've already ordered, tell me what your favorite product is that you're very excited about getting. For me, I really can't wait to try the White Amber Antique in laundry. And I'm not going to tell you which ones, but I got 2 of the warmers. Now that I've been a consultant for a while, my warmer stash is growing, and I just can't justify buying as many as I wish that I could. And I have to now start kind of rehoming things to people too, because the overflow downstairs is just crazy. But I still definitely made room for a couple new ones into the fold. We'll adopt them in, and that will be super fun. So this is Elizabeth with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. I hope you guys have an amazing day. God bless.